Hi there, it's Amy Nadalin again with Tribe Wellness. Here today is your second video in your Picky Eater series of videos. And today we're here to talk about 3 tips to raise healthy, happy eaters. So while parents really try hard to feed their kids healthy, many find themselves struggling night after night, day after day, with kids that will only eat a small selection of those kid-friendly foods. So I want to share with you my top 3 tips for raising healthy eaters that are not picky eaters. So my first tip for you is really how to introduce new foods. And I think this is one thing that many parents struggle with, unless you're really lucky to have one of those really adventurous eaters that will continuously eat anything that you put in front of them. So the key to introducing new foods is a phrase called multiple neutral exposures. I want you to keep those 3 words in mind. Again, it's multiple neutral exposures is the key to introducing your kids to new foods. We're going to break down that term piece by piece. So the first word, multiple. What you want to do, and what research shows that really works, is introducing your kids to a new food can take up to 10 to 20 exposures of that new food until they really accept it into kind of their own food that they really like. Research also shows that many parents tend to give up after only 3 tries. So as you see, there's a huge disconnect between the number of attempts that a parent makes with a new food and the number of times a child actually needs to accept that new food. So first of all, I want you to expose your kids to new foods many times. Second word, multiple neutral exposures. So when you're exposing kids those multiple times to that new food, you want to do it in the most neutral way possible. And by neutral, I mean no bribing, no negotiating, no asking them to take a bite, no taking a no thank you bite, no saying, yay, woohoo, you did it if they try to bite and they like it. I want you basically to put that new food in front of your child on the table and forget about it. It's kind of sometimes the hardest thing to do, but it's something that you'll see is one of the most successful things that you'll try. And the last word, exposure. So again, multiple neutral exposures. So that means that you want to expose your kids to a variety of healthy, balanced food as often as you can. So just get as many different kinds of foods in front of your kids as they're growing up. You want to expose them to foods and the same food in many different ways. So try it frozen, fresh, sauteed, microwaved, grilled, anything that you can do, because you never know what way your child is going to like the best until they try it in many different ways. So again, first tip, trying new foods, getting your kids to try new foods, is using multiple neutral exposures of that food. My second tip is feeding for the future. I think parents get so frustrated and so stressed out by paying way too much attention at the meal at hand. And what I want you to focus on instead is feeding for the future. So I want you to think of raising healthy eaters as a process. So take that stress out of raising a healthy eater by thinking of each individual meal and getting your child to eat a certain number of bites until they're full, or getting them to finish their vegetables that are on their plate. Instead, think of it as a learning process. So just like you would teaching them a skill like riding a bike or reading a book, you would give them a lot of opportunities to learn, and you wouldn't expect them to be completely successful at the first attempt. So that's what I want you to think about raising healthy eaters as well. So think of it as a process and don't give up on them too soon. And my third tip is to watch what you say at the dinner table, or anytime your child eats, because this really and truly can have an impact on their future relationship with food. Now, when I say watch what you say, I'm talking about those little comments that we all, myself included, have said in the past, because we really want so much for our kids to eat healthy. So things like, hey, take 3 more bites before you leave the table. Now, what can that mean to a child? If they hear that over and over again, what they're saying is that, I shouldn't listen to my internal cues, my belly telling me if I'm full or not. Mom and dad know more than me, so I have to listen to them to tell me if I'm full or if I need to eat more. So even though my belly's telling me that I'm kind of full right now, mom and dad says I'm not, so I better eat more. Another example of this is if your child eats, say they're coming to the table, they're really hungry, they clean their plate, and you say, great job, you cleaned your plate. that is in the long run teaching them, hey, mom and dad really like it when I clear my plate. They give me praise. So even though I might not be hungry for everything on my plate, I'm going to keep eating so I can make mom and dad proud. Because kids really want to please mom and dad. So instead, take it off, take the focus off the food. Instead, if you want to congratulate them for a good meal, instead say, hey, great job for being so polite and having great manners at the meal tonight, instead of rewarding them for finishing all the food on their plate. So if you have picky eater problems at home, I definitely encourage you to check out our Tribe Guide to Picky Eaters program. Now again, just like our Real Food program, this can be done in a couple different ways. You could sign up for our online program. Again, that's the Tribe Guide to Picky Eaters. And this is a complete online program where you'll get all of the information, the workbooks, MP3 files with audio, lectures, everything that you need to help you deal with your picky eater battles. Your other option is to schedule a one-on-one consultation with us. So schedule an appointment down at our office here in Fairport if you're local to the Rochester area, or we can always meet with you over the phone or do a virtual appointment via Skype or FaceTime as well. So just so you know, we are here to help you with all of your picky eater battles, and we hope that you think about us. Next time you are pulling your hair out at the dinner table and you say, there's got to be a better way, there is, please give us a call. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.